Hello aviators, welcome back to another video here for Pilot Up North Private Pilot Series. In today's video, we are gonna talk about S-turns, but first of all, we need to talk about this wonderful airport, Miyako Shimojishima Airport in Japan. This airport is east side of Tokyo and it is used at the first international stop for flights coming from the US. So as previously stated, today's maneuvering will be S-turns. Initially, we are going to do over the airport runway, since here in the simulator we have this possibility, but later on we are also going to do it over a road. So we will practice with the crosswind, nose and tailwind. So let's understand how our exercise will be today. So we are going to take off from runway 35 at Miyako Shimojishima Airport in Japan. The wind is coming from the north, that is 360 degrees, 10 degrees to the right side of our takeoff path. So we need to correct that wind during takeoff. I know we haven't talked about takeoffs yet here on the Pilot Up North, but it will be one of the next videos here in our series. One very important thing is that we are going to stay at 1,000 feet since the airport is at sea level. So we are going to maintain 1,000 feet and keep this altitude upon doing all the exercise. Today's exercise consists of approaching the reference line at 90 degrees angle. We must cross our reference, which in this case will be our runway, and then immediately make a 180 degrees turn, passing over it again, always with the wings level. To begin with, let's do the exercise with a crosswind, always in the nose of the aircraft during the turns. And we'll do this again and again until we have the end of the runway at tilt. So let's recap. That is the main goal of this exercise. We are going to cross the runway at 90 degrees angle with the wings leveled. So we will start a turn, in this case for our exercise to the left, when crossing the reference line, always paying attention on our altitude, traffic, and of course increasing or decreasing the angle of the turn as needed. Remembering that we are having to pass over the runway again or a reference line at the same altitude and with the wings leveled, and restart the whole exercise again and again. So starting our exercise, crossing over the runway, winds coming from our left side from the north. That's why I have my heading bug showing me where the winds are coming from. That's a very nice trick to keep. And let's cross the runway from the west sector. As we discussed before, let's cross with the wings leveled. And as soon as we cross, we'll do a left turn, being this 180 degrees turn. As per the heading bug, the winds are coming from the left side. The first turn is the left side tune, then the winds will be in our nose. Medium turn will be enough, but if we need, we can increase the rate of turn or the angle of the turn to cross the runway again, returning with wings leveled. This is a very beautiful place, beautiful day to fly here on Miyako Shimojishima. We have the runway below us, almost crossing the runway. As soon as we cross, left turn to start our exercise, adjusting here to be very straight ahead. So as you can see, we are not straight, but we are passing over the runway, starting turn to the left. Paying attention, it's a good idea to keep the wingtips pointed to the runway. We need to pass over the runway, keeping the same altitude and the wings leveled. Usually at the end of the turn, we need to increase the angle of turn. So here we are crossing the runway again with the wings leveled. Now right turn. And pay attention, the nose tends to go up on right turns. Now the winds are coming to the right now, but even though the winds are coming towards to the nose of the airplane. We are climbing a little bit, let's correct this. So I feel I need to increase a little bit more the rate of turn. We are descending, maintain the altitude. So let's level off the wings. We crossed the runway already, let's start the turn to the left. It must be right away. As soon as you cross the runway, you are over the runway, you need to start turning. I did this one a little bit later. I am not trimming the aircraft, I am trying to do this using the yoke and keeping a very coordinated turn. The altitude used to vary a lot. Okay, paying attention now. Crossing in the same altitude, starting turn to the right. Now I did the best one. Coordinating the turn. We are climbing, I don't want to climb, nose down. As I said before, look in the wingtip, it's pointing to the runway, over the runway, and then it is what I want because it's my reference. If I keep the wingtip there, I'll probably be in the perfect crossing. Let's see. A little bit before I leveled off. I should keep a little bit more turn. Let's do the turn to the left. Maintaining the altitude. I need to do this one a little bit more tight because yeah, when you turn, as soon as you cross the runway, you need to increase the rate of turn to nose going down as I saw before. And now I think we are crossing perfectly. Yeah, good. Right turn, the last one once we are at the end of the runway. As we discussed before, turn to the right, the nose of the airplane tends to go up and to the left tends to go down. We need to pay attention on those things too. So the idea here would be like starting a right turn immediately as soon as we cross the runway. But I need to explain for you about the winds now. We need to have time and to take some time to understand what is going on. We can't do those things like fast or speed up those things because we need to pay attention on what we are doing. And in this case, I'll do a little bit, let's think. I'll do a teardrop, doing a right turn and then a left turn. It seems to be a teardrop. It's called teardrop. Use it when you are approaching on an uncontrolled aerodrome. And let's do this maneuver to here, just to return and do turns to the right, okay? And it will be much better for sure. Now let's go to our 270. I don't want to climb, I want to descend and keep 1,000 feet. Let's appreciate this beautiful view outside. Look this color, man. Look this blue. The Microsoft Flight Simulator, those guys are doing a very amazing job. Yeah, we can see the runway ahead. We are descending too much. Let's keep 1,000. As soon as we start looking outside, beautiful places, we start not thinking about what we are doing. Let's try to go toward to the runway in a 90 degrees angle. We have the runway 3717 here. We are on the threshold of runway 17. So let's go, restarting the exercise to the opposite side now. Left turns and the wind's coming to the right side as per the heading bug. So it means the winds are blowing us towards to the runway 37 or the threshold of the runway 37. Left turn. As the winds are pushing us, tailwind, we need to do a steeper turn. Okay, we can see the runway already. And the altitude, keep watching this. And much more steeper and level off the wings. Okay. starting to the right, do it to the winds. We need to do a steeper turn. Pay attention on this. Look to the heading bug. Good, good. It's a very steep turn. Okay, crossing with the wings leveled. Left turn. Watching the altitude. Coordinate the turn using the rudder. Okay. The last one was a steeper turn, and then the last one to the right, I passed a little bit, and then doing the last one to the right, keeping the altitude and the winds blowing us towards to the other runway 37, where we are very close now, overflying the threshold 37. Steeper turn again, and now we can see we are crossing the runway again. Finishing here. Okay, we lose a little bit of altitude, 100 feet, and now let's go to do the other one. Let's go to the next one. Now, instead of the winds coming from the left or right, now we have the winds coming from the nose or the tail of the airplane. Let's do a turn going towards to the south of the airport area, where we can see a road I checked before to do this exercise. Let's check. As usual here, I always use winds coming from the north to be much more easier to remember what we are doing. Okay, we can see on the left side the airport, and then we can see a road on the left side too, crossing there. You can see here. And then we are gonna use this road as our reference now, and the winds are coming from this side, from the north, and then the winds will be on the nose or on the tail of the airplane using this reference. We are gonna do like a snake. Northbound we have headwind, and southbound we have tailwind. So let's turn to the right to start our maneuver to have some space to see the field, and then start doing our S-turn. Okay, let's start with a headwind. The airplane tends to go up. I am 1,100 now. I need to correct this before starting the maneuver. Let's go. I'll use this creek as my reference to start. Left turn, maintaining at 1,000 feet. I am 1,100 now. So we are approaching 90 degrees towards our reference. The winds are headwind now. We can see per the heading bug. Our line below us. Let's start, and you will see the difference now. Okay, starting to the left, and then we have a tailwind as soon as we are turning, and then because this we need to have a very steep turn, because if we don't do this, we are not able to pass over the runway or the reference with the wings leveled. Almost impossible. Let's do to the right. Okay, it's much more harder to do when we have a tailwind. Now we have a headwind, and we don't need to do a very steep turn. You can see our reference there. It's very easy to do when the winds are coming towards to the nose of the airplane, and I have no problem at all because the winds are blowing me out of my reference. Now another turn to the left, and we need to start with a very steep turn. Let's do. Steep turn, and coordinate the turn. Winds are blowing us towards to the reference, and we are very close already. Oh, level off the wings, level off the wings. We passed already. Super hard, man, super hard. Did you see the difference? When we have a tailwind, we need to do a steeper turn to get the same place. Left turn again, and then let's start again. We had only 3 turns here. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. And as you saw, when we have tailwind, it's super hard. We need to start the turn as soon as we can, as soon as possible, and then we need to do a steeper turn compared to the other one when we have a headwind. Don't make any confusion, because now when we are entering in the exercise, we have headwind. But as soon as we start turning, we are doing a 180 turn, and then we have a tailwind. It's the reason the winds are blowing us towards to our reference. Here, this road. It's a dirty road. Just to make sure you know and you understand what I am talking about. Okay, almost there, crossing. Winds, now it's headwind, but as soon as we start turning, it's a tailwind. And pay attention, I passed a little bit to have more time to do the exercise. Coordinate the turn, left rudder, and keeping the altitude. I am talking not too much because you know it's hard. Okay, leveling off, let's check. Okay, much better. Right turn. Okay, now we have a tailwind, but as soon as we are turning toward to the road, we have a headwind. Much easier. The wingtip. Did you see the wingtip? Wingtip over the pointing toward to the road, and I have much more time. I think 2 times more time to do the turn. Okay, one more to finish. Now we have headwind, but upon doing the turn, we have a tailwind, a nicely coordinated turn, and we are almost above the road already. Okay, level off. Okay, much better than the first section. Did you see how much we climbed? Because we were paying attention only on our steep turn. It's a very hard exercise, and it's the reason it makes part of the private pilot series and when we are training to become a pilot. I hope you have enjoyed this video as turns here on the Pilot Up North. So it's time to say bye-bye in this very beautiful airport, Miyako Shimojishima in Japan, with Romeo, Oscar Romeo Sierra as the call sign for the airport. I hope you had enjoyed this video, you had some fun with us. I see you next week. No more on Thursdays, but now all the videos will come out on Saturdays, the same time, but only on Saturdays. Maybe one video each 2 weeks because I am super busy here. Subscribe to the channel, give me your thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching the Pilot Up North Private Pilot series. Okay, I'll see you there. Bye bye for now.